Sixth Sense is a ghost story. That's a ghost story
Sixth
I like
Sense
a lot.
I love. Sixth Sense.
I love.
Did you see it coming? Did you see the twist?
No, I didn't.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't see
Totally
it coming
fooled by Sixth Sense.
Brian De Palma's Blowout. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's Brian De Palma's finest film. All right, which means it's one of the finest movies ever made because, as we all know, Brian De Palma is the greatest director of his generation. All right, John Travolta, by the way, gives one of the best performances of all time in this movie.
I've been widely known as saying that Blowout is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, you used to talk about that back in the day endlessly.
Yeah. No, I love Blowout, and of the movie brats growing up, De Palma was my favorite. De Palma,
you were like his Praetorian Guard.
Yeah, no, I practically got into, and believe me, being a De Palma fan in the 80s wasn't that easy because there was a lot of people who hated him, and then they'd want to pick fights with you. I actually don't think that new Hollywood aesthetic was actually run out of movies until maybe 82 or 83. I think 81 still feels, with Blowout, Blowout still feels like new Hollywood.
Blowout by Brian De Palma, with John Travolta.
Yeah, exactly. Realistic endings were the new happy ending.
Right, and they were commercial.
They were commercial because we had a very shit-heel view of life at that time, and nihilistic endings actually confirmed our own cynical faith in how we felt America was. If I'm talking to somebody who's just seen Blowout and says, "Oh wow, it's a real bummer that Sally died at the end," I go, "Well, you're a fucking idiot if you don't get it." All right.
I remember I met Brian De Palma. It was a dream meeting because he was always my favorite of the movie brands. He was a real, true hero. And he said, he goes, because he remembers he was doing Blowout, and he was really great about it. I think this is my best work. This is the one. And I actually agree, that is his best work. All right, but he was like, this is the one, this is the one. And then he goes to the theater to see Raging Bull. He's like, fuck. There's always Scorsese.
Sylvester Stallone isn't a boxer. He learned how to box for the films.
Back then, if a movie made $8 million in profit. That way, all good. I mean, one movie wasn't supposed to be the blockbuster. They were all supposed to kind of carry their own weight. And you had Rocky come out in 76. And the whole thing about Rocky was there hadn't been happy endings. In fact, realistic endings were the new happy ending. No, it's just a wave, and it goes for 5-6 years, and people get used to it, and it is what it is. And then all of a sudden, Rocky comes along that actually has a happy ending. And it's not about a guy and you're just watching him and his problems. There's actually a fairy tale aspect to it, and you watch the happy ending and you feel good. But because you haven't seen a happy ending in a long time, Rocky didn't end with Robert Blake getting shot for no reason whatsoever off of his motorcycle and dying in the street like he does in Electric Light and Blue.
Yeah.
Or the father killing his daughter at the end of Joe.
Right.
Those kind of tragic endings were the endings of the day.
When Rocky came out, and it ended like with a happy ending. What's funny is like Rocky would actually be considered like a middle ending now, because actually Rocky didn't win the fight in the end of the first one. All right, but he did what he wanted to do. He won it for himself. But people walked out. It had been a long time since they'd gone to a movie and walked out feeling great. All right, and people remembered how good it was. And then Stallone even was saying, I want to do movies that have happy endings. America wants that. Well, America actually found out they did want that. Oh, Rocky was, at the end of the day, probably Rocky was probably like my favorite movie at that time period when I was a kid. It just said so much to me. One, the movie, and two, just Stallone's whole story was very inspirational to me, because at that time I wanted to be an actor and everything like that. I hadn't thought about directing yet or anything, but I actually had no hope that I would be lucky enough to go out and audition for a movie and be chosen out of all the people, then I would be the guy. I always felt that I would have to do what Stallone did. I would have to write it myself. That was it. I never felt I would be so lucky to be picked out of the group. I always felt that I would have to be the master of my own destiny to some degree. And so that movie, and he spoke so much to me. Actually, a lot of time has passed since Rocky and stuff, and people kind of make fun of Stallone, but I've always thought he was a terrific actor. I think he forgot how good of an actor he could be.
And so here is what in 1979 would have been my favorite movie of the year, Rocky II.
Okay.
To me, one, I like Rocky 2 more than Rocky 1.
Maybe there were too many Rockies.
Yeah.
It could be.
As far as I'm concerned, he could have stopped doing them after the second one. I loved the second one. To some degree, I actually like the second one even more than the first one.
Right, a lot
Third,
of people did.
4, 5, and
Who's the opponent in Rocky
Oh,
II?
it's Apollo Creed again. It's like
Apollo Creed
it's their
again.
big, you know, it's their big rematch. And there also was this aspect because after Rocky, Stallone, his follow-ups didn't do well, and the press made a big deal about that, about how Fist flopped and Paradise Alley was a flop. I didn't know it was a flop. All right, I saw it 3 times. I didn't know it was a flop.
I love that.
But they were really taking him. You know, there was the press machine that had made him the Cinderella boy was now rolling over on him. And they go, oh, he can't really. Oh, he can only play as a stupid boxer. That's all he can do. And he's completely flopped out. And he's a real loudmouth in his press interviews. And so then he comes out with Rocky II. And now he's directed Rocky II. So Rocky II kind of has to work, or he is, you know, Sylvester come lately. And it's a smash.
Yeah.
It's a terrific movie. It actually betters on a lot of the aspects of Rocky. And he is beyond charming in the film. It was like, you know, after all the whole Sylvester Stallone, the celebrity, it kind of got put through the ringer to a giant degree. But to see him play the Rocky character again, it actually reminded you why you liked Rocky so much in the first place. And like, the first Rocky movie is more of a character study. This is more of a personality expansion.
Right.
But it works completely as a personality expansion.
Right.
It's just he's you know, and he kind of has the audience in the palm of his hand. That was one of the reasons. Besides that, I was so happy for him that he pulled it off, and the movie meant a lot to me, and it was inspirational. I started trying to get in shape after you see the movie because you get all caught up in the montage, you know, moments of it all. But there also even was just the idea, though, that Stallone kind of redeemed himself, and he ends up telling his story, because it's like he kind of shows what it's like to be a star and then kind of become a bit of a laughingstock. Like the Rocky character does, and then he has to kind of come back. So, you know, in his own way, he actually tells his story even a little bit more personally in Rocky II than he did in Rocky I. But then the other thing that I'm also kind of gene splicing about was, after I've seen the movie a few times, was the effect that it had on audiences. They really loved Rocky. They wanted the best for him. And there's this one moment, it might just be a mistake of montage or something, but you know, part of the thing in the movie is he has a spending spree that happens at the beginning of the film, where he buys a necklace and he buys jackets and he buys all this loud ass shit. And one of the things he buys is a Trans Am, you know, with a big gold eagle on it. And then now he starts losing all of his money, and he starts trying to get rid of everything. And he's trying to sell Paulie the Trans Am.
Oh wow!
And then he does. Then when things get lifted up, and he's going to fight Apollo Creed, and it starts one of their montages, and things are kind of going good. His wife was in a coma. She's out of the coma now, and she says, "I just want you to do one thing for me." What's that? Win. Mickey, what are you waiting for? You know, and so now it starts the Gonna Fly Now montage. And so he starts off by just doing his little jog. So he runs out of his Philadelphia tenement, and you see the Trans Am parked in the back. Now, it could just be a mix-up of editing that, like, by the time he put that in there, it was meant to be for a scene before he sold the car.
Right. But
it's after he sells the car to Paulie. And the audience is so rooting for him. Everyone in the audience goes, he's got the car back! It's like things are going good for him. He got the car back, and now he's running, and now it's all going good, yeah!
How many times did you see it?
6, 7.
In the first engagement alone, yeah.
It would be fun to see them sliced together, maybe.
I've done that from the moment they came out on video.
Okay, so
all
back
right?
to-
I had 2 recorders. I cut it together as one movie. I did the same thing with Rocky 1 and 2.
Icy as a hockey ring, Philly nigga, I'm flyer. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly nigga, I'm fly. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly nigga, I'm flyer. Icy as a